Delicious with one case!
I'm going to the North Pole and kissing the Penguins! The Penguins are the Stanley Cup champions!
Hello everybody, Joey the Truth Wagner with you. Welcome into the Truth Serum. And oh boy, we're going to talk hockey tonight, as this is the Eastern Conference Final Series Preview Show. It is the Ottawa Senators against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The battle for a trip to the Stanley Cup Final is on the line between these two Eastern Conference foes. Well, folks, before we get into this current series, let's look at the past. The past, there's been a lot of it over the last decade between these two teams. These two clubs have played in the playoffs a ton. 2007, Ottawa won that series. 2008, Pittsburgh won that series. 2010, Pittsburgh again won that series. 2013, in the second round, the Penguins won that series as well. This will be the fifth series in the last decade, so these two teams have played each other before and a lot in the playoffs. So let's look at this season. Penguins and the Senators played each other 3 times. Ottawa won 2 of the 3 games. But it was very close, though. They only outscored Pittsburgh by 1 more goal during those 3 games. So even though they won 2 of 3, basically throw that out the window. This is playoff hockey. This isn't regular season hockey. But folks, before I talk about this series in more detail, I would like to thank an awesome friend for this fantastic new Penguins hat on my head. I just love it. Thank you, Mrs. Ziegler, for this. The Truth loves it. Well, folks, let's look at this series in the X factors. And clearly, for Ottawa, it's all about Erik Karlsson. He's the only reason why they're here right now. Because of him, they were able to beat the Boston Bruins in 6 games, and the New York Rangers in 6 games as well in the second round. He's their everything. He's their captain. He's their leader. He's their best offensive player and their best defensive player. He does it all. And folks, Erik Karlsson right now is even playing with 2 hairline fractures in his left heel. That means he's playing with a broken left heel, which is unbelievable. And he's playing fantastic through it. In this playoff year, Erik Karlsson has 13 points. And 5 different occasions during this playoff year, he has played over 30 minutes of ice time in those games, with a high of over 41 minutes. So he's just one of the best players in the league. And without Erik Karlsson, the Senators are nothing. Nothing. So that's their X factor. Here's the X factor for the Penguins. And he's been their best player all playoff year long since being forced into action in the very first playoff game against Columbus with minutes to prepare. Marc-Andre Fleury. The flowers blooming in springtime, folks. He's been fantastic. A .927 save percentage in this playoffs for Fleury. And without him, they don't even get by Columbus in round 1. And they don't even come close to beating Washington last round. The Penguins got dominated last round. And folks, Fleury stole the whole series. He didn't just steal 1 game or 2. He stole the whole series. Let's think of that for a moment. Mind blown. Wow. So Marc-Andre Fleury, he's the X factor for the Penguins. If he plays the level that he has during these first 2 rounds, the Penguins will move on. And folks, this is just a lot of fun. I mean, you got two rivals going at it. Not as big of a rivalry as Pittsburgh-Washington, but a rivalry at that, because anytime you can play a team 5 times in the playoffs in 10 years, that counts as a rivalry in my book. So this is going to be a fun one. Here's the upcoming series schedule. Game 1, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in Pittsburgh on NBC. Game 2, Monday, 8 p.m. NBCSN. Games 3 and 4 next week, Wednesday and Friday in Ottawa, 8 p.m. both times on the NBC Sports Network. Game 5, Sunday the 21st in Pittsburgh, 3 p.m. NBC. Game 6 is Tuesday the 23rd in Ottawa, 8 p.m. NBCSN. Game 7 would conclude at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh on Thursday, May 25th, with an 8 p.m. start time on the NBC Sports Network. Well, folks, we've talked about the past, the present, the X Factors, a little bit of the future, too. But these are my thoughts and my prediction on the Eastern Conference Final. The team that will play for the Stanley Cup in the Eastern Conference. You want to guess? It's the Pittsburgh Penguins. And here's why. Better goalie. Best player in the world in Crosby. They have beat Columbus and Washington. And Washington had the best record in the NHL this year. Columbus, the 4th best. So the Penguins are battle-tested in this playoff year. They're experienced. And they got the coaching advantage with Mike Sullivan. Penguins in 5. Sorry, Ottawa. Penguins in 5. And I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't. Ottawa is not even close to as good as Columbus or Washington. They're not even close. So Pens in 5. Mark it up. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed a little trip into the Truth Serum for the rest of my great crew. Joey the Truth Wagner with you. Thank you for watching the series preview show between the Pens and the Sens. I'll see you tomorrow night, 7:15 on NBC. Enjoy.